Hello and welcome to Mystic Journeys with HB, Derek, and Rudy. How are you guys
Hello,
doing
everybody.
tonight?
Doing good.
How's it going,
Doing
man?
good.
Pretty good myself. How are you, Derek?
I'm doing good, thank you. You guys having a good day?
Cheers, man. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
busy. Busy
Good
day.
day.
Busy's good.
Yep.
I mean, keeps my
Yep.
mind distracted, keeps me from ruminating.
It's nice to have a good balance, you know? A little bit up, a little bit of down. A little R&R after the work.
hmm
Yeah, today's our Way Back Wednesday episode. As we get to breathe a little bit of philosophy out of this every single week. Today's story is titled "The Safe Path is Not Safe." There's a quote from Elizabeth Gilbert here, says the safe path is not safe. And there's a little story to it. Today's prompt says, have you ever veered outside of the safe path and had it work out? That's the question we're going to talk a little bit about. And we're going to talk a little bit about the three biblical principles, also referred to as trichotomy. It's mind, body, and spirit or soul. Some stuff on Plato and Socrates about that. Just touch on it real quick. And then I've got a couple other videos and some cool stuff to get into. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about microdosing. We have some time at the end of the show here. See what's up. Got Nerdy's mushroom today. It's a mushroom we've already talked about, so we'll just briefly touch over it. But yeah, full packed episode today. Full packed episode. After the show, we will be watching the movie The Men Who Stare at Goats. If you guys are familiar with it, here's a little um, picture of the cover.
I
It's got some
heard
great actors.
I heard it's based on true events.
Yes. Yep. The guy actually who is involved with this, I watched an interview with him the other day. It's really intriguing stuff. Um, it's stuff. Whenever I was younger, I didn't even subscribe to him. Like, this is wow, this is out of the world. But I was into psychedelics, so I thought it was really intriguing how people were trying to like use it as mind control devices and stuff like that. So as I got older, I'm like, wow, maybe people really can use their brain to channel and use what's the word I'm looking for here? Remote viewing, stuff like that. So
Mhm.
that's really what the movie's about without spoiling it. It's got some great actors and it's a great movie. So
Cool.
yeah,
Looking forward to it.
cool. Me too, man. Appreciate everybody being here. We'll give everybody just a few minutes to join in. Or do you got anything you want to show off before get into this?
Thinking not right now. Not till Ray Cook gets here.
Perfect. Maybe just throw out much best advertisement.
Oh yeah. So let's talk about what Derek's got here. Derek has a giveaway. So why don't you spill the beans?
There'll be free spore swabs, and we'll do this later on in the show. So
Okay.
if we forget or start to forget, remind us. But I'd like more people to be here so that everyone can participate. But there'll be free spore swabs, different varieties. We got blue minis, we have Noid, and we have albino Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, one
Fancy.
of my favorites right there. Yep, one of my favorites.
Good luck, everyone.
Good luck. Yeah, so stay tuned for that. We've got an action-packed episode today. You guys are gonna like this. Um, see what's going on for right now. Yeah, go ahead and give the announcement for Mush Fest, Nerdy. Just give the
Oh,
dates and everything real quick.
so Rocky Mountain Mush Fest. I got more than just the dates to announce. So
Okay,
it's
sweet.
it's
How about it,
July
dude?
16th to 19th, and the area is currently under they're experiencing wildfires, and it's 0% controlled and smoke everywhere. They've evacuated both Rye and Colorado City now. So it doesn't seem like we're going to have a place to do it where we planned on doing it. So I'm currently working on a plan B. I'm trying to find a good campground or something like that near Colorado Springs. So hopefully it's easier for everybody to get like a plane to the springs, and then we can just it's way closer and more convenient for everybody. So we will. I'm working on it. I've just been busy all day, bouncing around from meeting to meeting. it's been chaos, and tomorrow's gonna be the same. But I'm working on it.
Hey man, do your
I'm
best. That's all you can do.
yeah. Luckily for me, I have some people down in the springs that I can lean on. So hopefully they can give me
Nice.
some good pointers.
So as it stands, the original dates are still the current dates.
Yes. So we're still sticking to the same dates. We're just trying to find an alternate location. Um, Hopefully it works out better.
Sweet. And t-shirts are for sale. If you guys want to purchase one, reach out to Nerdy. They can be
Yep.
shipped to you guys before the Mush Fest.
The shirts,
Well,
the shirts will still say Colorado City, but it's still a wonderful, beautiful design. And
definitely.
I hope
It's
you guys
getting
buy
pretty
them.
close to Mush Fest. So if you guys want to purchase them at the Mush Fest, you can purchase them there. But if you want them shipped, it's $10. It's just a matter if you can get them before
Yeah,
the
yeah,
event.
yeah.
Um,
I do have a quick turnaround because they are getting printed by a local guy in the Springs. We're getting everything printed through a friend of mine, Most Dope Mycology Apparel. So
looking nice.
very, very fast turnaround, and hopefully we can get things done and have it at the event for you guys if you order in advance.
Cool. I appreciate all y'all joining in. We see y'all. What's up? What's up? What's up? Cool. Let's go ahead and get into our reading. Again, the title is The Safe Path is Not Safe, and that is the quote here from Elizabeth Gilbert. Story goes as such. Most of us strive for some level of safe. I know I have. I've often thought about why. I remember growing up and looking around at normal. Normal was graduating high school, going to college, getting a stable job, getting married, buying a house, having children, having lots of children, and then living happily ever after. I did many of these things, but felt something was missing. The pressure to be normal was a little overwhelming. It didn't come from others, but mostly myself. I would think, why can't I just be like everyone else? They're so ungrateful. For years, I wanted to start my own consulting business. In fact, I registered the name, created a website, and started a blog 4 years before officially quitting my corporate job and embarking on my own. What held me back? Self doubts and tons of thoughts like, how will I pay the bills? And what if you don't succeed? Who will want to work with you? Do you really think you're any good? The insurance. I have heard that the insurance for individuals is $1 million per month. I can't pay that. What if you suck and end up homeless? Then I thought, what if you let all that go and just jump? Won't you always wonder? The answer was yes, I would always wonder. And you know what? It worked out. And then today's prompt says, have you ever veered outside of the safe path and had it work out? If you guys don't mind, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I have this in my personal experience. I'm from South Carolina originally. I know for a while people were in the assumption that I was from Kansas, but I was living in Kansas for a little while. I'm from South Carolina. When I was 25 years old, I decided to move to Kansas to give myself a better opportunity. And whenever that opportunity ran out in Kansas, I moved to Colorado. And now everything's totally changed. My whole life's changed for the way better. 100%. I've had a lot of help to get where I am, but making that jump and not assuming the worst, not breaking the assumptions, and thinking that things are going to be horrible. And in the end, it ended up working out for the better. And if it didn't, it's like I can stay here. That was my whole thing that made me jump. I'm like, if I stay here, things are like this. I can always come back here if this is what I prefer. But if I take a chance, things might end up being better. And it was. It's a crazy thing for a kid to be that young and move his whole life without any attachment to any of his family or having no knowledge of what tomorrow will bring. That's how I live most of my days still today. But really, that's kind of like the benefit of doing it. Even here on the show, right? We kind of take a lot of risk doing what we're doing here on the show, supporting people with microdoses and things like that. And hopefully, here at the end of the show, like I mentioned, we'll talk a little bit about it to help keep people safe. But it's all we can do, right? Is just try to play it safe. And outside of that, we just have to jump the things that we're ready just to commit on. And where's that line draw? We talked a little bit about that with the Aristotle's mean, golden mean. So yeah, that's what I have to say on that.
What about you, Derek?
I can't think of anything offhand because I usually jump first and then think later, and I would say that I've been very blessed, and things um, always work out for the best, and but like my dad used to tell me, don't put all your eggs in one basket, and so I kind of stopped doing things like that, and now it's like it feels like I have a bunch of baskets. Sometimes we feel like we have too much on our plate, but it's like I feel like I have multiple plates now. So
Yeah, that's a good analogy, dude.
but one can't think of one.
Yeah, and then there's a quote I always say about how whenever people end up living a full life, they look back on their life and the things they regret more are usually the things that they didn't do rather than the things they did do. You know,
Big time.
100%. What do you think, Dirty?
Yeah. Veering off the safe path. I've been known to do that, but I'm also very, very calculated when I do. There's been a couple times where I did exactly that, and I'm like, I've been kicking myself and kicking myself and kicking myself. I'm like, did I do the right thing? Did I do the right thing? But the more I analyze, the more I think about it, the more I realize, yeah, there's all these other reasons why I did the right thing that I didn't see at the time, and it all fell into place for the right reasons, and things are so much better off than they would have been if I would have done the things the other way and just stayed with the status quo.
What you're talking about is having faith, dude. And we'll talk a little bit about that with the head, mind, and the spirit, the soul, and your body, right?
Yeah.
These different things. I mean, we do. Sorry, your mind, body, and soul. Yeah.
It's a matter of believing in yourself. And I think that once I, like, even when I first took that leap, I didn't really believe in myself. And so that's what I was missing. And
It's like a baby
when
bird learning to fly.
that day I decided to start believing in myself, when I had that Bigfoot epiphany. If everybody believes in Bigfoot and thinks Bigfoot's so cool,
Yes,
why
sir.
can't I believe in myself? The moment I
dude.
started believing in myself is when everything changed. Everything just started falling into place, and things still keep falling into place in mysterious ways that I can't explain. Things are going well for me right now, and it's kind of freaking me out. I'm waiting for the next thing to blow up.
Again, don't know it's coming, but don't feel it, don't fear it, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
Embrace it. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that as well too, man. It's a really beautiful concept.
But yeah, it's good stuff. I like that. Those
Yeah,
thoughts.
it's good shit, dude.
Definitely take that leap. The things happen for
What
a
are you
reason.
waiting for?
Like Mello said here earlier, everything happens for a reason.
Yeah, people just make too many excuses. Like, there's always a way. It's funny. I was talking with Magic earlier, and I was joking with him. He said that I was like, you should check out the movie, The Men Who Stare at Goats, because he won't be able to stop by tonight and watch it. And he said maybe I will. I was like, you could do anything if you put your mind to it. It's kind of cliche, but it really is true, man. Definitely, really is true. All right. Well, let's keep this train moving. We got a lot of things to cover here. I have a video that goes along with this stuff, right? This is a very popular clip. You guys have probably seen it. We might have played it on the show before even. I think this kind of goes really well with this topic.
So I started to study myself. I found most people don't know who they are. They really don't. Bob and Proctor are two words. My parents give them to me. They're called names, but it's not me. It's my name. Then somebody will say, well, this is me, but this isn't me either. It's my body. Like, you never phone down here to the studio and say, body won't be in today. It's sick.
Okay.
We don't say am hand or am leg. It's my hand, my leg, my body, my name. Who am I? Well, that's an interesting question. And I believe if a person will start to study that and look for the answer, they'll find it. See, I think we live simultaneously on three planes of understanding. We're spiritual creatures, we have an intellect, and we live in physical bodies. If we lack awareness or understanding of who we are, we're totally locked into a physical world, and we let things outside of us control us. 95% of the population are reacting to life. They're not really living at all.
Yeah. Stop reacting. Start living.
Definitely.
Yeah,
That's
start
what
living
he's
now.
saying. The programming is that's what we're told from the time that we're young, right? You have to get a house, you have to get a car, you have to live this way.
Mhm.
And you start to build your identity around this, but it's like, who are you really? We talked about this so much on the show. It's a really tough question to ask yourself. You got to sit with yourself for a long time. And then not only that, you have to be around people with yourself too. See how you are around people. See how you are with yourself.
A lot of people don't analyze what their values are, even. Back in the day when I was going to therapy, that's one of those things that my therapist asked was, "What are your values? List them out, write them down. What are they?" And I'm like, well, I don't know. It took me a long time to really like think about it and really self-assess and think about what's important to me. What do I value? It's different for everybody.
Yeah, dude, 100%. It's important to ask what your intentions are before you do something. Have no assumptions, but all the intention of doing something. So karma yoga, action without expectations, action without assumptions.
I think Socrates is one that said that the
Exactly right.
unobserved life is not worth living.
Yeah, so it's like 5 principles of
Something like
Socrates or
that.
something like that. It's like 4 or 5, but anyways, last one is after you've figured out how you're going to accomplish something, you have to ask yourself, what is the intention? What am I actually trying to accomplish here? Now we already have the idea and everything's already ready to go. Like, are we sure we're ready to press the button on this thing? Now, what is the intentions? What are we trying to accomplish? But yeah, again, this is referred to as the 3 biblical principles, also referred to as trichotomy, mind, body, and spirit or soul. Plato and Aristotle taught that humans were divided into 3 parts, and they believed that the physical body and the highest spiritual realm were so fundamentally different that they couldn't interact directly. They proposed a 3rd intermediate layer, the soul, to bridge the gap. We talk about this so much in so many different ways, but we have our mind and we have our higher power, but we have the soul now to bridge the gap of what between our heart and our mind, what we think and what we feel. It's just what you're saying. Have a little bit of faith, dude. Hoping things will work out for the better. Just chasing it all the way through. What do you think, Derek?
I think sometimes we chase things that, like, that programming tells us that we should have, and it's, you know, people don't find happiness in those things. It's not their calling, or what's really for them. And having, like, say, getting a house, getting married, having kids. That's great for some people, but not for everyone. And for society to, like, kind of use that as a measurement, I think the minimum measurement should be college or high school and some college, and then anything on top of that, what makes that person happy to be, like, the most important.
Or do you got any final thoughts on that?
No, not really. I'm sorry.
I
I'm
think it's
just
good,
kind of.
dude. I think because I agree with what you're saying. I think this is a great topic because it's one of the things that we may not all see it the same way, but we can like rationalize how we think about it. And I think it's nice to have a good balance of all 3. Like have a little bit of faith, but don't have complete faith, blind faith, right? Because that's not real faith. Like you have to have a little bit of consciousness, a little head on your shoulders, but also you gotta keep your mind, body, social connection, spiritual connection, all that in sync. Um, let's play another video here.
Think back to the moments in your life when you were certain everything was ending. Those times when the difficulties seemed insurmountable, when you believed you could not possibly continue, when you were convinced that this particular pain would destroy you. And yet here you are. You survived. You endured. You are standing here now, stronger than you were before those moments, carrying the wisdom that only experience can teach. Every single difficult time you thought would end you has passed. Time moved forward, as it always does, in what now seems like the blink of an eye. And this reveals something crucial. Time will pass regardless. The question is not whether it will pass, but how you choose to spend it while it does. Will you spend it in constant battle with what is?
I like that. I watched a video recently
Situations.
about
Go ahead, Derek. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I think my phone might be lagging, so I wasn't able to hear you.
It's okay. Yeah, I was just saying last week we were talking about difficult situations breeding credible results. We were just talking about that. So yeah, you can go ahead.
You know what we do during the dash, you know, between when we're born and when we die. It's the dash is the most important part. What we do in that time, how we use that time. That's you know, what we need to get the most out of the dash.
Well said, dude. What about you, Nerdy?
I agree.
Difficult
completely
situations breed incredible results, man. That's how you get stronger.
with those. That dash is awful important. And
That's what you should think about whenever you're taking that jump, you know?
mhm. And welcome to the show, the not operator.
Cheers,
like
man. Nice to have no viewers here.
Is that Buddy Jesus on you? That's awesome.
Cheers. Nerdy, I believe you saw this video earlier. I sent it to you. This is a really cool one as well. This is really neat. It kind of gets back into what we were talking about with the 3 principles here. I didn't cut you off, did I?
No.
Okay.
Universe, please help me. Keep holding it. What? Keep holding it. Why? It hurts so much. What hurts? The knife. Please take it out of my hand. I can't do that right now. Why not? It's cutting deeper and deeper. Please pull it out. If I pull it out while you're still gripping it, it'll tear your hand apart. I don't want to cause you any more pain. I'm begging you, please. Then open your hand. Stop holding the knife. I can't. Why? Because I'm scared. I don't want to see what's underneath. I don't want to deal with the consequences. But you'll feel better. No. Then I'd have to admit that I picked up the knife, that I'm the one holding it, that I'm hurting myself. You can let go. No. Because then I won't be able to be the victim anymore. I'll become ordinary. People will stop feeling sorry for me. They'll stop comforting me. I'll have to deal with my actual life, my dreams, my relationships, my health, my future. But if I keep holding the knife, at least I can ask everyone for help. And I can keep blaming you too. Because I know that you can't take the knife away. And it's beautiful that you just admitted that. Most people blame me for not helping them remove their own knives. I give you full permission to keep hurting yourself for as long as you want, until the day you decide to open your hand. And when that day comes, I will catch you. I will support you. But some people will leave, won't they? Yes, the people who still needed you to be wounded will be angry. They'll lose the role that they played in your story. And then others will arrive, the ones who opened their hands, the ones who learned what love feels like without suffering attached to it. Wait, so I'm allowed to keep holding the knife until I'm ready? Of course you are. Oh, did you do that? No, you did.
Nope, you did.
Awesome. That was awesome.
Yep. And that's how it is, dude. Sometimes, and during that middle of that dash, kind of highlights on, you know, people are going to come, people are going to go, people are there to teach us lessons, and the people that are really meant to stick around, they will. It's the beautiful Keanu Reeves quote, you know, it's like, if you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? You know, got to do that shit. Yep, and let go of what's hurting you. We got one more here. Let's click on this. This is from Ram Dass, one of my favorites.
To the extent that you turn off something through denial, through looking away, it costs. There's an energy cost that you turn off the living truth. You turn off just that which feeds you in the universe, which is keeping your heart open in hell, it turns out. And learning how to do that, learning how to embrace the suffering into your being and allow that you are part of humanity, and humanity involves greed and fear and agitation as well as beauty and hope and all that stuff, and terrorism and the possibility of death, and to live with all that in the present and look right at it as a human being, embrace it, and then find within all that the joy of the beauty of the manifestation on earth. That stretching of a human being, then we're coming into our full humanity. Then we're embracing our divinity as well as our humanity. When you're just in your human heart, in your emotional heart, it's all too much. You burn out, you can't stand it, there's just too much suffering, I don't want to see it, I don't want to know about it. The problem is it costs to do that. You got to armor your heart, and when you armor your heart, you end up alienated and starving to death.
Yeah.
Society from so many different people that do this, and sometimes we hold a mirror up. So if people are feeling sadness, that's what they project. If somebody's feeling hate, that's what they project. So it's kind of like all these different emotions that people will project out in the world. Ram Dass is genius, man. Knows exactly what he's talking about. Speaks exactly the same stuff that Aristotle and Plato talk about with the, trichotomy. It's head, body, and spirit. Mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, I agree with that. That's some good stuff.
Good stuff, man.
Loneliness, I think, is definitely a motivator for a lot of people, especially in our community. But yeah. Let go.
Let go, man.
Let
Yeah,
go.
100%. Yeah, have a little faith. Have a little blind faith, No, don't leave your life in it, but have a little bit of it. It's nice. Helps out for sure. Um, do you want to do what do you want to do next here? We got a couple different ways we can go with this. We could do mushroom, 30s mushroom. We can do talk about microdosing if you want.
Yeah, if
Which
anybody
one do you
has
want
any
to go with?
mushroom questions, if anybody's wondering, I'm saying some weird shit in the chat. That's just, I'm quoting Clerks 2. But there's those you don't know. It's like
I'm not sure.
Jay and Silent Bob. They went through rehab, and they're like, he's got his chip, and he's like, they're all into the Bible and stuff. And it's good. It's a good scene.
Yeah, somebody was asking in the chat. I think they're new here. They were saying what we do. Yeah, this is the kind of stuff we talk about here. But we try to keep it light too. Like what we're about to do right now. We're about to guess a mushroom. Actually, we're not really going to guess it. Nerdy already knows this one, and we've already covered this one. So we're just covering the official state mushroom. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this real fast.
Okay. That's an interesting picture at the end there.
That is not your mushroom.
Okay. Look like some hawthorn or something like that.
We'll get to that. Yeah, good guess. Not correct. We'll get into that.
Not
We got some time. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, this is the mushroom right here. We've already covered this mushroom once. You probably know it by name.
Oh, that's the Texas Earth Star.
Texas star mushroom, or also known as the devil's cigar mushroom. You can see it's actually sporulating right here. That's what you're seeing pop up. That's why it's also known as the devil's cigar.
It's the state mushroom of Texas.
Yeah, state mushroom of Texas. But maybe there's something cool you can tell us about it. If not, we'll look up some cool facts on it, man. What do you know off the top of your head about this kind of mushroom?
It's an ascomycete.
Okay.
It's not like a standard mushroom that you'd think. It's more closely related to like
orange peel.
Yeah, or cordyceps or morels. Those also cordyceps and morels. They look like more like standard mushrooms, but they're not. They're ascomycetes. They reproduce slightly differently than the standard mushrooms do.
Yeah,
but
that's the name I was trying to remember the other day and couldn't. But yeah, that's exactly right.
You can literally see the difference between that mushroom and like an agaricus under the microscope. If you had a mushroom in front of you, you didn't know what it was, look under the microscope, you can tell if it's a basidiomycete or an ascomycete just by looking at it. And then if you look at the spores, then you can probably figure out what genus and then possibly species.
What a neat way for a mushroom to spore, though, you know?
Yeah. Just tap it and then just
or blow on it, right? Just the wind blowing by. What a neat way, dude. Because that's really the idea, right? The wind blows by and sends the spores through, like knows when to release it through the wind. It's neat. I would assume it's called the Texas star mushroom because it's in Texas, and then that would make complete sense. Waiting for the wind to blow by, blow them spores right into the next mushroom. It's pretty cool, man. Evolution. We looked at a couple crazy different mushrooms here past couple weeks, man. Crazy weird stuff. We've already checked this one out, but yeah, it's nice to go through the official state mushrooms, and this is a really neat one. Yeah, this is that I was showing off. Let's just go ahead and cover this real fast. I only have a little bit on it. These are some that I picked just the previous year. They're rose hips.
Aha, okay. It just looked really
Yes,
orange.
sir. Yeah, just because of the way the camera's flashing on it. Yeah, because you can see normally it looks a little bit more red right here.
Definitely recognize it now that you said that. There you
Yeah,
go.
these are some of the benefits of the mushroom, right? Or not the mushroom, but the rose hips. Got tons of different benefits for digestion. It's an diuretic and great for antioxidants. Has tons of vitamin C. I'll pull that up for you right now. You can see a huge level of vitamin C inside of this, as well as tons of other micronutrients. And this is the micronutrients I was describing to you guys that are super important to get into your diet. And a great way to get it is by supplementing with nature. These are things that, especially this time of year, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because if you don't already see rose hips, you will in a couple months, depending on where you are, a month or two, and take advantage of it and harvest some and make some tea out of it. It's a really nice flavor. Nice, mix it with some hibiscus and lemon, and you make a nice tart vitamin C drink. It's good for your immune system. Yeah, there's tons I can go on and on about it, but yeah, just keep in mind, it's always stuff out in nature that you can go out there and harvest. When you see it, recognize it, look at it, and be like, oh, wow, I remember seeing that on the show. I can harvest these and make sure you're getting what you're supposed to be getting. But, experiment. Go out there and explore. Take a jump. All right.
Yeah, especially here in Colorado, I see those rose hips everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Mullein is an invasive weed, and it's highly medicinal, but like it's everywhere in our state. They've moved it to Class C, which means they've just given up on it. And because it's a noxious weed, I'm not allowed to sell it. So I'm trying to figure out and navigate a way to, like, how do I help the environment by getting rid of these noxious weeds, but also benefit myself at the same time, because no one wants to pay me for that. They've given up.
Do sell it in tea mixes, so it's probably just a matter of getting the right licensing to do it.
Just got to
I have a ton of it.
so that it can't eventually repopulate somewhere else. I just got to process it first. I think logically that works in my head. Or
I filled up a whole tub full of mullein leaves, some yarrow and stuff.
Yarrow, I think, is actually native, so I think I just need a permit to be able to collect and sell that.
Nice.
It's like
makes a super good healthy tea. Yarrow, mullein, these are super great herbs for when you have coughs and colds and stuff. Yarrow is a great herb for menstrual cycles to stop bleeding. That's usually what's best for.
With yarrow, what I was doing with that is I was mixing it with like a mushroom extract to make a balm. So it's because it's what's the word? It's a astringent. So it stops bleeding and
okay, cool. Yeah, for wounds and stuff, exactly.
Yeah, it like tightens up your skin and stuff. So yarrow's great, and it's everywhere out here.
Also, raspberry leaf is another great one for that too. Cranberry, and as we just mentioned, rose hip. Yeah, super great stuff. And keep your body healthy. Keep your body healthy, Great stuff. Yeah, just go ahead and do this microdose talk. I think we got enough time here. We're working pretty good here.
Yeah, we got 17 people here right now. That's not bad.
Cheers, everyone. Appreciate y'all being here. We're going to talk a little bit about microdosing. We were just saying earlier about, taking risks and stuff. So also, like, what we try to do is be safe, too. It's like, of course, we're giving people who never used a kind of gun, but we're going to show you, hey, this is the proper way to do it. This is how you shouldn't hurt yourself here. I'm going to start with playing a video that I have from a recent talk on microdosing. I think everybody loves to diagnose people that they don't really understand. This is something that I wanted to speak about today, and this is a great segue into it. I was mentioning this about people because, when people are doing psychedelics for the first time, they say, hey, how many grams of mushrooms should I take? Look, everybody has their own opinion on how we should do this stuff, but when it comes to you and your body, you could say, hey, I should do this because I'm sad, or I should do that. But you cannot diagnose other people when you don't really understand the biology of depression and what's good for people or what's not good for people. And the same thing is to be said true about mushrooms. When you're talking about giving someone a drug that affects their mind and their mental state, you shouldn't just be suggesting anything to someone. If somebody came up to me and said, hey, should I take a gram of mushrooms for my first time? I could say, yeah, that's fine. It should be fine. It should be great. But I never asked this guy about his mental history. I don't even know who he is. I'm just suggesting they should just take this drug that could ruin his mind. And it's a bad thing we should stop doing. This is why I say that we got to stop talking about grams anyway. Grams is what you roll up in your joints if you're trying to smoke some weed. If you're trying to take mushrooms, take a pill capsule. If you've never taken them before, take your mushrooms and put it in a pill capsule. Whatever is in that pill capsule, it can't be strong enough to hurt you. So you take that pill capsule, you have your experience. If you want more or need more, you take more. But instead of just weighing it by a gram where you don't have no idea the percentage of psilocybin that's inside of that mushroom, is super dangerous and it gets people hurt a lot. I was talking about this today. You can go on Reddit or any drug forum and listen to people's experiences talk about how they have had a gram or two of penis envy that was way stronger than 3 or 4 grams of other mushrooms that they've had. And it was the most intense experience that they've ever had in their life, even though it was only a gram or two of mushrooms. So this is the danger of giving somebody who's never had mushrooms before a gram of mushrooms, because a gram of what? A gram of what? Because you don't know what's the psilocybin percent. Yeah, pancyans, correct. And even though it's very rare for people to get those pancyans, it still could happen. And penis envy can be up to 3 times, almost 4 times as strong. So we have to keep this in mind. We got to be thinking about this constantly and cautiously whenever we're talking about dosing people or drugging people, because you have no idea what you're talking about. You shouldn't open your mouth. And this is the danger. It's called the Dunning-Kruger effect. I talk about this a lot. People who underestimate their abilities overperform, and people who overestimate their abilities underperform. So if you think you know, you probably don't. You probably just need to just be quiet, because you're going to end up getting somebody hurt. And if somebody else ends up getting somebody hurt, or somebody ends up listening to information that gets them hurt, it doesn't involve you. And all you can do is speak out and do what I'm doing right now and try to speak your truth and say, hey, I think it's dangerous for people to be talking about weighing grams. I don't think we should get rid of that. If I have anything to do with it, people will forget about it. They won't weigh their mushrooms out in grams. They'll really be looking at a quantity of mushrooms that is this amount and then putting it in their mouth and trying it. And then as they get more familiar with that type of mushroom, maybe they could branch into taking grams. Or if you're familiar with taking mushrooms in general, you can take a gram or 2 or whatever. But for people who are newbies, you should not be suggesting people to take grams. It's super dangerous. I don't recommend it. Can't express it enough, honestly.
Low and slow until you know.
Slow until you know. It's important to, not claim, because none of us are experts here. There's not a single person here that's looking at our chats or reading this as some total expert at this. And it's the question you asked last week, like, what is an expert? Well, it's somebody who really knows back and forth the ins and outs of something. And if you don't understand human psychology, the way the mind works, the way the psychedelics could affect people, it's ignorant just to go ahead and start giving people advice. It's like I said, it's like if somebody walks up and asks you how to shoot a gun and you're just go ahead and giving them all the advice, like this is how you do it. But yet they've never shot one. You're not taking that into consideration, or that they're mentally unstable shooting a gun, right? It's the dangers of this thing. And just like, I use the analogy of a gun, but Derek made this point. It's like mushrooms, they won't kill you, but do you want to send yourself into a psychotic break over trying to have a good time or enlighten yourself? It's like, no, you don't. It's like the Dunning-Kruger effect is exactly what I was talking about. So many people that act like they know. This is why on the show, we all really do this, and we do a great job at it, trying to give advice, but with the caveat of know yourself, like be open to yourself. We even say that in the intro of the video and the exit of the video.
Everybody is different. That was some pretty good advice in that video, but I would add one thing. There's some mushrooms that are so potent that even if you could fit it in one of those capsules, you could have a bad time. Like, for example, like if you were to do TTBVI from like psilocybin.
Well, this is what the point is, right?
Paniolus cyanescens. I mean, and that it's like a difference between like just like a regular.
I'm just trying to limit it,
and it's like almost like acid. It's you're
exactly
going
right
to feel something, and you're gonna be seeing something.
But we're just trying to limit the effects, because if people, at least this is why, because some people don't even know what they have, and this is why I always advocate the first things first is know your source and test your product. And once you have tested your product, you know what you have. You still won't necessarily know if it's pancyans or not. It's really hard to tell what mushrooms are once they're dried. But yeah, if it's better to take a capsule and have a tough experience than to take 10 capsules worth and then have a traumatic experience. Because some of those traumatic experiences can be pretty volatile to people's subconscious and their psyche, and it's fragile for some people. We're going to talk a little bit about microdosing here in a second. That's what kind of leads us into this. It's all about like starting slow and slow, like Nerdy was saying, and see how you feel. If you feel worse, stop taking it. Don't keep taking it. Stop. Go practice and try something different, man. It's like you have to like figure out different things. Mushrooms aren't always going to be the answer for everyone. It's not for everyone. But if it is working, then you figure out what works for you. And we got a couple of things here to talk about regarding this. Let's just start off with first things first. What is microdosing? Pull this up on my phone so I can see it. Microdosing involves taking fractions of a regular dose of LSD, psilocybin, MDMA, or other psychedelics, and has become an increasingly popular trend in recent years. Almost all drugs have a therapeutic dose that's recommended in order to get the full effects. A microdose is 1/10 of the normal dose or less, which is considered a subclinical dose. Microdoses can be taken daily or every 2 or 3 days, and typically involves self-experimentation to find the right dose or schedule. Oops. See me on the next one. All right. This is a microdosing starters guide. We'll briefly just kind of go through this. Source is most important. You need to know your source. You need to know where you got your mushrooms from. You need to know they're actually mushrooms. There are test kits online that you can use to actually test this and make sure that. Let me pull this up full screen. Test to make sure you actually have what people are saying that you have, whether you get it from anyone. Be skeptical and learn to listen. It's our fifth agreement, so it's really important. Measure your dose. Measuring doses properly is key to long-term success. It allows for adjustment in dose size, and this is especially important because the potency is often unknown and eyeballing is ineffective. For mushrooms, a milligram level scale is the most effective. Some users prefer to use homemade capsules, and once they find the dose they prefer, so that's what I was recommending. Start with a capsule. If you've never tried mushrooms before, start low and go slow. There's no reason to try to get yourself a psychedelic experience on the first time. For LSD, volumetric dosing is the best and done by dissolving LSD into a mixture of unchlorinated water or vodka and then measuring the doses in a syringe or dropper. Or like we mentioned, you could put mushrooms into pill capsules. All right. Scheduling. Most people who microdose like to use a schedule for tolerance resets to better understand the pattern of microdose days, on and off days. And you can see underneath it right there, there's two different famous protocols, the vitamin protocol and the Stamets stack. So this is LSD or mushrooms respectively, and you can experiment with either using both or different protocols. So yeah, you can just kind of mix and match. Some people do 2 days on, some people are just random about it. So it all depends on how you feel about it. It's nice to listen to your body and again, feel how you feel. Don't take if you have any medications or supplements. Do psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia run in your family? Do you have heart conditions? Or are you colorblind? If you answer yes to any of these questions, then there's a risk for you. Do more research and make an educated, well-informed decision for yourself. Underneath right here, we got reget tests. Not testing drugs can be risky at best and deadly at worst. This is why we talk about this on this show. It's nice to have a good experience and be enlightened, but it's nice to go into it knowing that you're going to have a safe time. The best way to test is with a chemical reagent. And even if you trust your supplier, drug prohibition makes regulation impossible, meaning you can only be sure what it is after you test it. There's different ones right here that you can order offline right here, as it mentions. And it recommends not to buy powdered mushrooms, to buy the whole mushroom fruit. Start low and go slow. As Nerdy mentioned, it's best for beginners to start with a conservative dose, such as 50 milligrams mushrooms or 5 micrograms of LSD, which is a super, super small amount. And slowly work back their way up to the level they desire. And as this reduces most of the unwanted side effects. And if using volumetric dosing liquid, make sure you aren't using, anyway. Yeah, we can skip that part. But yeah, just start low and go slow. Adjust the doses. As you microdose more, you may prefer a higher or lower doses depending on the circumstance. For example, a higher microdose may be desired for therapy or a hike. That's what I like to do. But a lower dose may be wanted for work or training with or treating social anxiety, like we mentioned before. Microdoses seem to be more effective, as opposed to higher doses are more effective for depression. So yeah, just feel how you feel, and you'll figure out what works best for you. And then track your progress is a really important thing I was trying to enlighten people on. Paying attention to long-term patterns and changes for beneficial is beneficial for microdosing, and you can use a journal, write it down. There's tons of apps you can use that do this. Track it in Excel or even use phone apps like I was talking about. HoustonMicrodose.me is a really great one, or tablets. Tracking how microdosing makes you feel, progress towards goals, new habits being formed can help you solidify long-term challenges or changes rather. It's really good stuff here.
Yes, I love
About how
that
to
part. That last part.
maximize your yes sir. That's what it's all about. Writing down. There's tons of apps that do this, and they ask you like how you're doing, how's your creativity doing, all these different questions, and it's really good for our mental health. Um, let's talk here about the benefits of microdosing, the potential benefits rather. I should highlight. Increase mental clarity and focus. You can feel more creative, improve mood and energy levels, improve mindfulness, increase insight and awareness, enhance problem solving abilities, motivate people to make healthier choices, improve adaptability to change, enhance feelings of connectedness towards others, increase confidence and self efficacy, increase empathy for others, super important, reduce stress and anxiety, which is always beneficial. Improved ability to resist drug cravings such as cannabis or nicotine as well. Enhanced emotions and five sense experiences. Well, now let's talk about the cons here. The risk of microdosing. It's not for everyone, as we mentioned. The risk of microdosing are legal problems. It's not legal everywhere. It's a super controversial thing that's going on right now. Make sure you get a vote to change it. But for now, there's still legal issues, and this is why we try to practice autonomy here. Again, pay attention to the intro or the outro of the video. Interference with medical care, depending on if you need certain medications or certain medical help. Being on psilocybin could affect medical care, so it's something to be aware of. Unexpected hallucinations or a bad trip. This is always a possibility. Something I don't try to highlight too much on, but it is a possibility, and that's not always a good time with psychedelics. That's why we try to talk about safety. But increased feelings of anxiety, social stigma. Sometimes workplaces don't really like the way that it looks, so if they find out that you're doing it, they could fire you for it. Substance abuse and addiction. The risk of microdosing is the fact that even though mushrooms have a low risk of addiction, people still with addictive tendencies can use and abuse mushrooms. But yeah, it also can increase your symptoms. It can make things worse rather than make things better. So that's why it's important to listen to your body and really get a feel for who you are and how it's affecting you. Take a little bit. If you're not feeling okay, don't take it.
That last slide, the first bullet mentioned legal problems. That's one
Yes,
of the
sir.
reasons why we're doing things the way we're doing it, because these mushrooms and cactuses and chocolate and other natural sacraments are just that. We're using them as sacrament, and because we're using them for spiritual reasons, sincerely, it has to be sincere. That's the reason why we're incorporating the 4 agreements into it, because we have to have some sort of a creed. But as long as you're being sincere and you're using it for religious purposes, the government and your employer they don't have a say in whether you are consuming these mushrooms.
And then, like, you give out these journey journals as well. This is really super important because it's, like you said, to write down your practices and make sure that you're showing that you're practicing with this on a healthy regimen. You're not taking it as a drug addict, and you're taking it with the intentions of practicing the agreements. It all works together. Super beneficial.
We encourage safe and sincere worship. Always be safe and responsible with your dosing.
Yes, I will post this on Discord for you.
This is all about the church. If you want to know about the legality of it, it's basically a separation of the church and the state. So it's in the Declaration of Independence. It's in our Bill of Rights. and also the Religious Freedom Restoration Act. And some of the current Supreme Court justices ruled that there's this ayahuasca church. They said that they were allowed to even import their sacrament from other countries. So this is through the postal service and stuff. So they were been given like, yep, if the Native Americans are allowed to use their peyote for their religious purposes, then everybody else can use their ayahuasca or their mushrooms. Or that was the Supreme Court ruling. So I'm going off of that, as well as Colorado law too. I'm using that as guidance too, because Colorado has passed a lot of laws around psilocybin mushrooms as a natural medicine, and they've carved out some specific ways that we can use it religiously, legally, and not worry too much. We have some extra protections here in Colorado. That's what I'm saying.
Definitely, man. It's important to check your local laws, and this is why we talk about this, because hopefully we're trying to steer us in a different direction. No disrespect to the cannabis community. I'm a personal user of cannabis daily, but it's important to not let this turn into a money grab by people who don't really have passion for what's going on. So that's why we try to talk about safety above all, because it's nice to steer people in the right direction. And hey, you know what? It's like you can jump into that pool and you're gonna cold shock yourself, but step a foot in, dip in, jump in, then stick your head under. It's like that's the way to do it with psychedelics. You don't have to like blow yourself away.
The idea here with the church is to enable you to be able to access your medicine, grow it yourself, or get it from your friends, or provide it to your friends legally. It's all about enabling you. It's not about us selling mushrooms. It's not about us making money. It's about helping you get what you need for your growth. And whatever way.
Well, you want to give people a question?
Yeah, Derek. So why don't you remind everybody what they're competing for here?
Cheers. Thank you for being here, man.
Yeah.
3 spore swabs. One of them is albino Louis Vuitton. Then we have Noid, and we have blue meanies.
Nice.
And whoever
like
gets this nerdy question right will be getting these in the mail.
Okay, so you want some? Okay, so basically, I've got a riddle, and first person. Let me make sure I change to live chat. Hold on. First person who answers the question and is over the age of 21 and wants these swabs gets them. So the question is, what kind of room has no walls, doors, or windows? What kind of room has no walls, doors, or windows? And you will be winning 3 spore swabs.
First person to guess. We're waiting on your comment. Everybody, you can use Google if you want, whatever you have to do to get the answer. First person to guess. We'll give you guys a couple minutes here.
So what kind of room has no walls, doors, or windows?
Art room, nope.
The exception to the rule. First one.
Yep. That's what I got too, dude.
All right. Congratulations, exception.
Very close and good job, Jolie.
A mushroom. So how appropriate was that? Yeah, you got some spore swabs. So I know exception's going to grow them too. So
nice.
Those are some good choices. So you had Noid, albino Louis Vuitton, and what was the last one?
Blue meanies.
Blue meanies. So that's the cube. So blue meanies originally is what they used to call Panaeolus cyanescens. So there's this other strain that's actually Psilocybe cubensis. It's been going around, and that's what you probably have right there. So it's probably Psilocybe cubensis. So it's a popular strain. It's just that somebody wanted to take advantage of the marketing of the original. But it's a good one. It's a good one.
Yeah, Louis Vuitton's is one of my favorites. I like that one a lot.
I do have some statistics I'd like to share about microdosing.
Please.
Yeah, dude, do it, man.
For the past year, an estimated 11 million adults had microdosed. Right,
Right
not
here.
11 million. If it was like, we're telling you these facts and everything, for you to use caution and use your best judgment. But we're not trying to scare people. I mean, there's 11 million. And if it was a problem, you'd hear about it on the news every day, because the way the propaganda works against this, everything is really blown up and blown out of proportion a lot of times.
Definitely.
So Americans logged 216 million total days of psilocybin use. Nearly half of those days consisted specifically of microdosing.
That's just the ones that are being reported too. It's interesting.
Now, separate data indicates that at least 8.4 million U.S. adults had tried microdosing at some point in their lifetime.
Nice.
So there's a lot, and it's the machine, big pharma, that's keeping this down. But we see these new government programs and stuff in their research. So I mean, that's very promising. And if it was more harmful than good or anything like that, they wouldn't be doing that.
Definitely. That's why we have to take the risk. That's why we have to jump. We got to start flapping our wings, and hopefully we'll fly. And if not, we'll climb our ass to the top of that tree, try again.
Yep.
Yeah. So we have to be willing to make the sacrifice and stick, our heads out there and make sure that we're the ones leading the way, because we're the ones that are going to make sure people are doing it safely and cautiously with intent. That's the best way. Everything I just said is all up for your own interpretation, as I mentioned, but super good to really have intention behind what you're doing and have a plan of action, rather than just going into it with nothing. Super dangerous. Play with fire, you're going to get burned. Look, I'm only speaking from experience. I had some really tough psychedelic experiences where I was like, you know what, I'm just going to ask for it and then put a bunch in and get a lot out of it. It's funny. So we were playing that clip. It's like you learn that taking half a hero, there's like being half a hero would have been plenty. Hey, don't try to be a fucking big shot. Don't try to be a tough guy or any of that. And if you don't know, then don't speak up, right? Don't suggest what people should do if you don't really know, if you haven't been there and done it. Let people choose for themselves. Just give them the data and then let them decide for themselves. Best you can do. Once you don't have a conscience, and it's like you really just say whatever, but it's like that stuff comes back to you. You got to think about I get that person some bad advice. It's because I thought I was being right. It's the Dunning-Kruger effect. You start to think that you know everything, and that limits how much you can actually learn.
Hey, I do know everything.
But that's what we were just talking about. That it's like I know everything, but let's take a closer look at this.
I don't know.
Maybe we
squat,
can
man.
stuff. Yeah, me
I'm the
either.
first person to admit, I there's so much I still need to learn, and every day I don't feel like I should be doing what I'm doing, but I'm like, you know what? Who else is going to do it?
Yeah, exactly right. That's what makes us perfect.
No one else is really doing it, so why not?
We'll fucking do it.
That's
Get out of our way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where I'm going, I don't need roads.
100%. Because if not, it's like it's what I was saying. It's like too long we play the humble game and we try to be humble and respectful, and then negative people take advantage of that and they cut the line at lunch because we're just like, you know what, I'm trying to get up there in a hurry, and then they jump right to the front of the line. It's like, nah, you know what? Next time, because I'm the one who's going to be able to give some meaning to being in the front of the line rather than this person who has everything but ego and pride and envy and greed. I'll get up there next time, show people what I'm made of.
Yeah. It's not about being the front of the line either. It's not. I'm all about helping other people shine.
Well, the analogy I use is the microphone, right? Because if we're waiting for somebody else and we're waiting to let somebody else speak,
right,
a dumbass will get up to the front of the stage and hurt people because of what they have to say or make them mad and start a fight.
Exactly it. I'm not waiting around anymore. That's for sure. I believe in myself now.
100%.
Yeah, like I was saying about the Bigfoot thing.
Confidence, dude.
Gotta believe in myself.
Let me on that microphone. I'll spit some shit for you real fast. Love it, dude. The Minister at Goats. We're going to do that here in Minecraft, Discord. Discord server. We'll drop the link in there for you, and we'll be over there about 30 minutes here after the hour, about 25 minutes.
I'm gonna try to find that link here.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, we're watching the Minister at Goats. I'll pull this back up for you guys if you never saw it. Super great. I don't want to spoil it too much, but it involves psychedelics, and it's got a great crew here. Great.
Right, so this link will expire in 30 days.
Yep. But feel free to click and join. Come watch with us, hang out. And
I hope it's a good movie. I haven't seen it yet. Looks good.
Oh yeah. Do me a favor, scroll all the way to the bottom of what we got posted here and show people the memberships, stuff like that. See, we got a bunch of new people here in the chat. Appreciate y'all being here.
Let's see. I don't see it in here.
To the very bottom. The last two slides.
Oh, there it is.
These are our membership levels. About to pull up right here. Yep, there it is. This is for the $5 membership. Comes with a digital card. Membership cards, like we talked about, is showing that you're practicing. And also it comes with Minecraft server, Discord movie nights, like we mentioned.
We've kind of been having them open to the public, just to try to get people in the door. We need as much help as we can get. But
Definitely.
Every $5 helps a lot.
We appreciate our supporters. We appreciate everyone showing up, whether they're a supporter or not, like I always say. But yeah, you can go over there and play on our Minecraft server as well for that membership. Our $50 membership gets you a digital membership card, the same perks and everything, with the personalized spiritual service, which may include sacrament, depending on your situation. Yeah. Again, we try to play everything safe, make sure people have their ins and outs, our P's and Q's and T's and I's, and then we send them on their way and let them hopefully make good decisions for themselves.
Right. And what you get is personalized for you, and it's between you and your spiritual guide. And your guide will be one of the three of us. That's who we've got right now. We don't have anybody else yet. I've been thinking about it, maybe expanding a little bit. We'll see.
Cool. And expect next week we might take a week off. We're trying to get people to get out, and we're going to take a break. It's nice to take a break. We've been doing this shit for going on about 7 or 8 months now. So we're going to give ourselves a break. Nice to be able to have a whole week off for everyone. And then we'll come back around the week after. It's encouragement for you guys to get out. That's what I was going to say. It's encouragement for you guys to get out in nature and to spend summer out in the woods. And that's where we kind of show you mushrooms and plants and stuff. So go get your hands dirty. That's all I can say. Get sweaty.
Yeah.
Summertime, baby.
Legs.
I'm going to be driving across the country next week. So,
Cool. I love it, dude.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, the timing wasn't right for the Mush Fest. Because I'm going to be going through their days before. You know what I mean? I'm
Yes, sir.
landing in LAX on the 3rd.
Okay.
And then I'm going to a cookout once on the 4th of July. I'm doing that instead of going to Hill. And then
I love it, dude.
and then out there for a few days and then start heading back. So.
Sweet. Take lots of pictures, videos, and stuff for us too. Show you off on the show when we get back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Be back tomorrow for Riffing with HB. We're going to be covering Janis Joplin, and we will be covering Nirvana on Saturday. So yeah, stay forward to that.
All right, let's do the outro. And we'll see you guys in 30 minutes, about 20 minutes probably.
Bye, everyone. Have a great night.